Hey there, y'all. I'm Juliette Miranda, and this is Bourbon Soaked Live, where every Monday night we hang out and tell stories, and I drink bourbon, and you know what? It's all good, y'all. And yes, Container Man, I am getting into costume. I'll get to that in a minute. First, I want to introduce the man behind the scenes, which would be Mr. Behind the Rant, David the producer.
Just a guy that gets you your bourbon.
Yes, he is. He is going to be manning the chat for me and making sure that things don't explode or go out or do anything they're not supposed to do, including y'all. So, glasses up, folks. I'm drinking Noah's Mill today, and this is one hell of a spicy-ass bourbon. So,
hold up the bottle. I can't see it.
Oh, wow.
There you go. Well, I can't see it, but I can't see it.
Noah's Mill. I've been on a real Willet kick lately. This is from the Willet Distillery. I recently did a bourbon review of their Pure Kentucky, and I had their Willet Family Reserve Rye, and now I'm drinking their Noah's Mill. So glasses up, y'all. Cheers. Oh, man.
Oh, wait, I forgot to drink. Damn it. Hold on a second.
You're always drinking.
Well, hold on. Hold, please.
Drink.
I'm drinking Larceny, by the way, in case anyone gives a half an ass.
He is. So Jerry's already getting himself into trouble.
That's right. I already have to show his comments. I knew he'd be a problem.
He's always a problem. Well, let's say hello to everybody that's hanging out with us so far. My gal Ginger is here along with her Will. Hey guys, thanks for joining me tonight. Jerry from the Bad Cop podcast is here. I see Dr. Fish. I see Wes, of course. It's always good to see you, sir. Wendell Live is here. Who else do we have?
Buddies,
the Bourbon Buddies.
And of course, Container Man.
Right.
How can you forget him?
I was saving the most interesting for last.
Show the horns, lady.
Yeah, so if you've seen me sprouting horns, it's part of a spectacular gift that Container Man sent my way, including a full-on devil costume, which, quite honestly, I don't know what the difference is between that and my regular self.
We'll see when you wear it. That's private. That's private time. Secret time. Secret time.
So he sent that. He sent us some drinking hats, some other unmentionables, and a spectacular little fan, actually, that David, the producer, has commandeered for his work down in the garage.
Well, I had to. And by the way, the Viking hat fits like a glove.
It does. It's a little terrifying, actually.
You know how many bourbon bottles I can fit in that Viking hat? I love that.
I know.
Gift.
It's like one in each side. It's one of those, straws with a drinking thing. He's like John Belushi in Animal House.
Right.
And I really don't think this is going to end well for anybody.
See, Wendell's drinking an old-fashioned tonight. Awesome.
Oh, nice choice. I haven't had an old-fashioned in a long, long time. I don't know why. It's just not normally my flavor. I prefer things a little bit more like spicy, more like a Manhattan, a little bit more dry. I see that Wes is asking a question. He wants to know what I think of Easy Time Kentucky whiskey. And honestly, Wes, I'm not familiar with that. I don't know if that's a local whiskey or if it's something that's regional. So I'll have to look for it. But if it's something that you recommend, I'll definitely give it a try.
Yeah, we're always up for new bourbon. Always.
Always.
Okay, so I need to know what the Bourbon Buddies are
Yeah,
having tonight.
bourbon dudes, what are y'all drinking tonight? This Willet is amazing, but I will say, I'm wondering if maybe this wants a little bit of water in it, producer.
You think so?
I think it does. It's
Hold on.
114 proof.
I'll stop at the toilet. I'll be right back.
Good, good. See, he loves me so much. He really does. Container Man says, did you wear your hats for your driveway drinking on Saturday night? We did, yes. And then the neighbors called the cops. So it's on hold. And Wes says, it is just cheap whiskey. I have no problem with cheap whiskey, really. In fact, Mellow Corn, it's a bourbon. It's like $12 a bottle. It's actually spectacular. Whoa, that's a big old glass.
I know. You just
All right, let's see if I can do this without spilling. Hang on. Oh, wait. Can she do it? Can she do it?
Let's get the long shot for that.
I did it. Ha!
Oh, look at that.
See how good I am?
Wow.
Oh, the Bourbon Buddies are drinking the 4-year family estate Willet Rye. That stuff is so goddamn good.
That's pretty badass.
It's like a dream come true, I swear. All right, let me have one more sip, and then we're going to get to the theme of tonight's show. Oh.
Better with water?
Yeah, you know what? This needs just a little bit of water. That really super high proof just made it a little too much like an unsweetened hot candy. But now it almost...
A lot of cinnamon in it?
Yeah, in a weird sort of way, it reminds me of absinthe. Like, remember that German absinthe we had?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It had that really like potent sort of cinnamon flavor. That's exactly what this reminds me of, but it's still quite good.
Nice. Nice. And yes, Container Man, I do know the fan is for her. I did not commandeer it. It is all hers. She actually has it right. Actually, it's not that far from.
No, you were the one who was last wearing it. Nancy Jones, hello. I'm so glad you could join us tonight. So, and thank you, Wes, for sharing the show on your community tab. And y'all, definitely get the word out. We're going to be hanging out for at least an hour here on YouTube talking about fear. So I want to know what your deepest, darkest, scariest fears are, and I'll even let you know what mine are too.
That's perfect going into next month, which is starting
Halloween.
tomorrow. Halloween.
I know.
Month.
Yeah, I love Halloween. I love Christmas too, but Halloween is just a little bit more, fun.
It's more your speed.
It is more my speed, seeing as how I like to stab things.
Yeah, I found that out the hard way.
Jerry fears nothing.
That doesn't surprise me.
I'm a little afraid of Jerry.
At this point, Jerry should fear mortality.
So I'm going to kick things off tonight by telling you what the scariest thing in the whole entire world is to me. And this is probably a little silly if you've never seen the movie, but The Exorcist is the scariest thing to me ever. Probably because I saw it when I was about 7 years old for the first time.
That's a problem.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, my mother, here's what a psychopath she is. So this was the 70s-ish, and my mother actually had the exact same china that was used in the movie The Exorcist. And it wasn't like a theater prop, it was just the same pattern. And that used to scare the crap out of me. So I'd have these horrible nightmares, and my mother would be like, oh, well, let me get you a glass of water. And then she'd bring it to me in the same china mug that you see in the movie. It was just her little, personal way of having fun with me, her loving daughter. The Bourbon Buddies are afraid of clowns.
Yeah. How could you not be afraid of clowns? Clowns just by themselves are just freaky, even when they're...
No, they're not.
Yeah,
I
sure
love I dated a clown.
I know you did.
I did, and he turned
you
into...
married a clown, too, unfortunately.
Really? Really, my love?
I know you dated a clown.
I did.
An actual guy that went to clown college. And clown college is a real thing.
I mean, he was a serious hardcore clown. He had and he called it a union suit. I guess that's like the technical phrase for a clown suit. And he had the full-on clown outfit and everything. And he was seriously into it. This was his gig. He, worked at parties and everything. And I wound up breaking up with him. Not because he was...
No, because he was a clown.
No, I didn't care that he was a clown. He was a perfectly fine clown, but he was a weirdo. And he actually started stalking me after we broke up, which was pretty freaking creepy. And
don't all clowns, do that at some point?
I don't know. He's the only clown that I've ever known. But he wound up following me and a bunch of my girlfriends into this bar one night. And I was so done with seeing his face everywhere that I went that I actually made a deal with the guy. I said, let's just play a game. And whoever wins, if I win, you're never going to talk to me again. And if you win, I'll go on one more date with you. And what he didn't know was that I had a total like ringer up my sleeve. I challenged him to Bozo Buckets. Do you remember Bozo Buckets?
I actually do remember Bozo Buckets because I actually played them on the
that's
Channel
right.
9. Yeah, I did it.
That's
actually,
right. So
on the Real Bozo Show, I played Bozo Buckets.
the Bozo Show was our Chicago. Was it just Chicago area or was he national?
At some point, it became syndicated, but I don't. Well, when I was on, it wasn't syndicated. All they had, there
Yep,
wasn't
me either.
syndication. Yes,
But so they had this game called Bozo Buckets, and essentially you threw a little ball into a bucket. And there were like 5 of them, one farther away
Right.
from the next. And I practiced this game every day of my life until I was about 11 because I wanted to be on the Bozo Show, and my mother never got me tickets, which is reason number 2 why my mother was a terrible, horrible person. So I challenged him to a game of Bozo Buckets, and he's like, okay. And we were neck and neck for like the first 3 rounds. And then the 4th round, I made it. He made it. The 5th round. And I'm thinking, oh, shit, I'm actually going to have to go out with this clown again if he makes this shot. And he totally missed it. It was the best. I was so pleased. Finally, playing Bozo Buckets paid off in a good way.
clowns are still weird. I don't care what you say.
They are not weird. They're just fun. Like, how can you be afraid of something if you can kick its ass?
Well, it's not afraid. It's just a creep factor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see everybody in the chat is kind of agreeing with you here.
Yep.
Let's see. Wes is afraid of clowns. Clown porn. Ew. Gross.
There's such a thing as clown porn?
Apparently there is.
Oh, please tell me this is not a thing.
And I saw Ginger. Ginger says, I called our local bozo a pervert.
Well, why wouldn't you? You can just assume that
Well,
by proxy, right?
no,
Just because he's a clown?
You know what? That's not fair to clowns. It's not fair to clowns. Clowns are, I'm sure, perfectly lovely people. In fact, if you've ever seen the movie Shakes the Clown with Bobcat Goldthwait, you can see that they all have a heart, except for the one who gets it in the end.
That's right. And wasn't that... Oh, I can't remember who the actor was. Doesn't matter. But
Adam Sandler's in it.
yeah, he is in it. And you see that Jerry said that wasn't Bozo Bucket your nickname in high school, Miranda?
Suck it, Jerry.
When he says Miranda, I don't know if he's talking to you or me, because he calls me Miranda too.
Jerry's asking if Ray Rayner was our local bozo. He was our first bozo, wasn't he?
No, he wasn't a bozo.
He was something.
Well, Ray Rayner had his own show.
Yeah.
Where he, had like little
Didn't he
post-it
do puppets
notes.
or something?
Well, he had post-it notes on his little suit, jumpsuit, whatever he wore. It was another creepy kid show.
Yeah, they all are. But what is Rule 34, Wes? I'm a little afraid to ask.
Do you know about Rule 34? I'm afraid to ask, Wes.
I'm really afraid to ask about that.
Yeah. And by the way, Jenny Marseth joined us too,
I just saw that, Jenny. I can't thank you enough for being here.
as well as 8-Bit Reactor.
Absolutely. Thank you, 8-Bit Reactor. Bill Dees, thank you for joining us. And Ginger says, I can say I like the new It and not the old It and not the new It. Yeah, I have mixed feelings about the new It. I mean, I appreciate the clown. I think he, looks effective, but you can't beat Tim Curry. I mean, come on. He was just a cool-ass clown.
He was very cool. And you did say hi to Nancy, right? Nancy's here?
I did say hi to Nancy, and I see the Creator Spotlight show just joined us, too.
Yep.
I'm a little strokey tonight.
Yeah, you are a little strokey tonight. What's up with you?
I don't know. I haven't had enough whiskey.
You just started. I don't know even. You can't even speak. That'll be interesting later on. Let's see.
Oh, and the always
Have you
charming
do
Gaffa
alphabet.
has joined us.
Oh, Mr. Haynes, look at that.
Isn't that nice?
And we also have Bill Dees. You see Bill?
I saw Bill
showed up?
Dees, yes. So, continuing on the idea of The Exorcist, and Linda Blair, I actually spent a little time with her a while back.
I was with you that night.
Yeah, and so I wanted to see her as part of like my overcoming my fear of Linda Blair and the whole, Reagan McNeil exorcist thing. So we went to see her at this event she was doing at Halloween at some local theater, and my guy got us kicked out. So
Well, I wouldn't call it kicked out. I'd say
escorted forcefully
escorted to another location that was not quite outside.
No, it was outside.
Okay.
It was outside.
I'll go with that.
And I had to follow you because they didn't know we were together because I went through first. And I pissed Linda Blair off. I told her she ruined my childhood, and I meant it as a compliment. But she got all pissy, and I guess I angered her for my guy who went up to her and said, "Hey, you were awesome in Star Trek."
Yeah. Well, I saw how you pissed. Well, you didn't piss her off. You asked her a question, and she was really rude to you. So I decided I was going to ask her a really rude question because she was just being kind of an ass.
She was. I mean, the scariest thing about her was the fact that she didn't have a sense of humor.
Right.
So,
that's my point.
In that respect, I am no longer afraid of The Exorcist.
And we have Mrs. Redneck Connection joining us. Blended Whiskey is in the house.
Oh, cheers, Blended Whiskey. It's nice to see you here.
So let's ask the chat about their biggest fears.
Yes, definitely tell me whatever it is that freaks you out. Is it? We've already talked about clowns, and it seems like everybody is afraid of clowns. What about, ghosts or insects or heights? I know somebody over here behind the microphone is afraid of heights. Not me, of course, but...
Shushy you. Hey, you want to talk about what bourbon you're drinking today?
Yes, I am drinking Noah's Mill from the Willett Distillery, and I've added just a little bit of water to it because up front it was this insane cinnamon bomb. The water kind of brought it down a little bit, and now it's very, very drinkable. Thoroughly enjoying it.
So we have Mrs. Redneck Connection says spiders.
Spiders. Ooh, yeah, I am not okay with spiders. I'm not okay with really any insect or winged creature. They're just not okay with me because there's no predicting what they do. In fact, I was just sitting downstairs on the driveway for a little bit, and something, I don't know what it was, it might have been a grasshopper, maybe it was a locust, but it landed on my foot, and I went flying across the driveway. Because I can't handle these things. They're creepy, they're sticky, they're pointy. I don't know what they're going to do to me.
I love, ladies and gentlemen of the round table says, I'm not scared of clowns. Well, that's, I think you're in a minority. And Mike from the Creator Spotlight
Wendell
Show.
scares me.
Wendell scares me.
That's all right.
Just kidding, of course.
Container Man scares me just a little bit.
Just in some of the things he sends in a package to the
Yeah,
house.
yeah, he's a little frightening.
Wendell says he's afraid of falling. That's a pretty common one. That's falling from what? Just falling from just
from a great height. I mean, you know what?
Yeah. Is it a height thing or is it a falling thing like a dream thing? Because I've seen people with both.
Yeah, it's not that I'm afraid of falling. I just don't enjoy the sensation of it. Like I would never go bungee diving or skydiving.
I've done both.
I know you have, and I don't know why.
Jerry says white people freak him out. Then Jerry.
Oh, Jerry.
That's Jerry. Totally Jerry. And Jenny Marset says wasps and the dark. She's afraid of two things.
Yeah, you know what? We just had an incident with a wasp nest on the driveway the other night. And because our townhome complex is just ass about insect removal and solving any problems that we have here, we decided to take matters into our own hands. And my guy got up on one of our folding chairs with a broomstick and a can of Raid.
Well, that's the only way you're going to kill him.
Yeah, it smelled and it got a little violent for a while, but nobody got stung, so we were okay.
Right? You see Wes?
I know a girl who is deathly afraid of butterflies.
Well, that's William.
That's
Yeah.
William, yes. I'm afraid of butterflies, but who else is afraid of butterflies?
Butterflies.
They're
How could
creepy
you-
as fuck.
They're just these light little things that flutter around. How could you be afraid of that?
They're psychopathic winged creatures.
Well, yeah. I don't think so. I
No,
think they're
they
fine.
are. I mean, I went to a butterfly exhibit at a zoo once. I don't know why we always get into trouble at zoos, but remember the one we went to and the little kid handed me the butterfly?
Well, we were half in the bag.
Well, I was, yeah. I was hammered on I was hammered on zoo Mai Tais, which are not good
And that's
Mai Tais.
actually such a thing, yeah.
I know, it's a thing. And we're in this goofy house of butterflies. And this kid is, looking at this little butterfly on his finger, and it's some like black, horrible looking death moth creature. And he holds it out to me. He goes, "Here, want to see it?" And it used his finger as a springboard. And it just launched up at me and goes flapping in my face. It was like Silence of the Lambs or something. I thought I was going to die. So I went tearing out of the butterfly exhibit. And I think I squashed at least 8 butterflies in my path.
Yeah, they were not happy with you.
I took them out hardcore.
Oh, and Jenny Marcette says she's also afraid of heights.
Oh, can you scroll down on the chat, my handsome producer, because it's not catching up?
Yes, I'm still trying to catch up with some of the people's comments there. Yes. Oh, really? I get the snappy from you? Container Man says, "I'm truly sorry, Juliette and David. I didn't mean to come off as scary. You're not scary.
We're just giving you a hard time. It's so fun."
We always have fun giving Container Man a hard time.
I know. You can dish it out, buddy, but we'll give it back.
The Whiskey Dick says, "Fear."
Oh, hey, Whiskey Dictionary. How you doing tonight?
Yeah.
What are you sipping on tonight? I've got Noah's Mill. I'm on a big Willet kick these days, but I got to say it's actually starting to get a little more potent again. I might have to add some more water to it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a hardcore cinnamon bomb.
And for those in the chat, go out and check out the Whiskey Dick because he just put out, actually I should say, premiered a new video today.
That's right.
I saw that out there.
Wes is afraid of Black Hole Sun by Soundgarden.
I don't know why that would be.
I don't understand that.
Why would you be?
And I want to call out the hashtag Bourbon Soaked Live right now because I see that Wendell is drinking Maker's 46 again. What we do every Monday night is use hashtag Bourbon Soaked Live and post a photo of yourself watching the show. So we've got a couple from 2 weeks ago. We didn't do it last week, but the week prior to that, we've got photos of Ginger and Will and Wes, and we also have one of our friend Fred and his gal. So y'all, post that photo, hashtag Bourbon Soaked Live.
Yeah, on Twitter.
On Twitter.
That's right.
Because I'm anti-Facebook.
FB is the devil, speaking of your horns.
Oh, it's just a piece of shit.
Wendell Live says he's having Maker's 46 again.
Oh!
There's nothing wrong with that.
I see that they're explaining now that it's the video for Black Hole Sun.
Oh, that makes sense. That was creepy.
I don't think I remember it.
Oh, yeah. It was a girl who had, like, they made her eyes real big. It was, they did, how do you even want to put it? It was a very odd video, very David Lynch, if you will.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I remember it. William says he's afraid of bamboo shoots under the fingernails. You know what you need to see? It's a movie called Imprint by Takashi Miike, and it's from the Masters of Horror collection. He's the same director who did the movie Audition, and there's this beautiful torture scene in it. It's
a beautiful torture scene.
And I'm gonna
slow down. I'm getting horny.
I'm gonna come off as a little creepy here. It is stunning what they do to this girl, and part of it involves like shoots under her fingernails, but she's also just tortured exquisitely. It's a stunning and disturbing movie. I highly recommend it.
Oh, never seen it. We're gonna have to check that out sometime.
Yeah, I'm forcing my guy to watch all of my favorite horror movies because it's October, so he, indulges me for the month.
You still have one more day till October.
It's October.
Do you want to show last week's Bourbon Soak Live shots?
I thought we just did.
Nope. We did the hashtag.
Oh, but I said everybody.
Sure you did, but let's show the pictures.
Let's show the photos. So we've got Ginger and Will in there, and we have Wendell.
There's Wendell.
And we have Fred and his gal.
Yes, there's Fred. Fred and his wife.
So that is how we do Bourbon Soak Live here. Give us some more photos and we'll put them up next week.
Put them up next week, and we're going to do something I think a little bit special next week, where we're going to do a giveaway. But I don't want to talk about it this week. We'll talk about it next week.
My producer's on top of all sorts of things that I am completely unaware
Yeah,
of.
we're going to do something pretty cool with Bourbon Soak Live next week. Just saying.
Whiskey Dick, speaking of torture scenes, Hostel, yes. You know, that movie really, I think, revitalized the whole sort of torture movement in movies. And I know it's not an entirely popular subgenre, but I remember seeing it in the theater, and that scene in particular, you know, you see stuff like that and you just feel it so viscerally. It was intense and just awesome.
That is an awesome series. So how many Hostels are there? 3, 4?
Well, there's 2 that Eli Roth did, and then either 1 or 2 sequels after that were done by other directors.
Ah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
A bottle of Blanton's. We're not giving away a bottle of Blanton's, Wendell.
That's wishful thinking, but
Sorry about that.
the hard thing about giving away liquor is that you have you can't get it to every state depending on where you're shipping it to, and that's kind of,
I know,
tough.
we got into trouble. We tried doing that earlier in the
Yeah.
podcast scene, but
And it was really hard to do that. So, but we have something alcohol related that we are going to give away. Matter of fact, we could tell them now.
we'll hold off.
You want to hold on?
We'll hold off. Let's make it a surprisey surprise.
All right. We'll talk about it next week then.
We'll talk about it next week.
It's actually pretty cool, though.
There's a little bit of chatter going on about the Saw series, which, I liked pretty much all of them. I think that they kind of, they're fun to watch. I don't think they're great movies, but I enjoy watching them. And I enjoy just how creative all the wacky, wacky ways of dismembering a human being that they come up with.
And there you go. And that statement leads me to my fear.
Me?
I am afraid. Well, I have a crippling fear of crazy redheads. Crippling fear.
Wow. So what am I doing for you here? I'm not sure this is going to work out very well, my love.
I'm just saying. Hey, we have Toyman joining us.
I saw Toyman joined us. I see Stacey Morgan is here.
Oh, great to see him.
Jerry is being a complete and total pain in the ass.
Jerry's being Jerry. We love Jerry.
Jerry is an instigator.
And by the way, for those of you that do listen to podcasts, you have to listen to our friend Jerry, because Jerry is... Bad Cop
podcast.
Literally...
Dark humor, it's awesome.
One of our favorite podcasts that is out there today. It's called Bad Cop. Great show.
It is.
If you don't mind a little, what I'll call risque humor...
Risque.
Then that's the show for you.
I see that Wendell is afraid of running out of bourbon, and you have no idea how much that scares me.
Yes, she has a fear of what we call the bottom of the bottle.
I do. I never want to see it. That's why I just keep buying new bottles. Container Man is afraid of spiders, creepy crawlers, and getting kicked in the nuts.
Well, that's a good thing to be afraid of.
I
don't know if that's more of a fear than a protection. It's like you want to make sure that never happens to you. So I think that's more a defense mechanism than a fear.
From what I understand, that's pretty painful.
Yeah, and Stacey Morgan, by the way, if you haven't seen Stacey Morgan's channel, he is doing something really cool on YouTube that he features all of these great YouTube creators. He's created this wall, and he's continually updating it with all these creators, and it's just such a cool thing that I don't know. I just think what Stacey's doing is just amazing.
Definitely.
Amazing. So go out and check that guy out.
So I'm wondering, of all of you out there, are you afraid? Oh, Jerry's leaving me.
Oh, you can't leave yet, Jerry. Oh, sure, we give you a plug, then you leave?
You know who just showed up?
Tony from Viewed This?
Rob and Slim.
Oh, get out of here.
Rob and Slim are here, y'all.
Oh boy.
Talk about scary nights.
Get ready for the dick jokes.
Wow. So I was going to ask who out there is afraid of haunted houses. And I don't mean like paranormal houses, I mean like carnival haunted houses. Because my guy and I went through one a few years back once, and he nearly punched the guy with a chainsaw in the face because somebody is a little bit afraid of jump scares. So what I like to do to my guy when, we're just hanging out, it's late at night and we've had a bunch of bourbon, he'll disappear into the bathroom and we have this skeleton. It's a wooden skeleton. It's about what, like 5 feet tall?
I'll do it for you.
Oh, we're bringing out the skeleton. So I will get the skeleton. It's very easy to move, and I will put it right outside the bathroom door. And we're talking like 2 in the morning, and he'll be, a couple of bourbons in, and he will open the door, and he will see this standing right outside it. Can we see this, my love? Is it on camera?
Part of it is.
All right,
You
hang
have
on.
to.
His arms are going to fall off. Hang on.
Yeah, I can move the camera. Here.
Wait for it.
There you go. There's your damn skeleton.
I love this guy. His name is Bolly. I don't want him to fall over. There we go. The bourbon buddies say jump scares get them all of the time.
I hate them. They're the damn worst.
Yeah, we were in that haunted house and the guy with the chainsaw just popped out at you and you're like, ugh. And I had to kind of pull you back.
Well, because nobody jumps in front of me and scares the shit out of me. What do you expect? You're going to get either a sock to the head or...
You know what he did to me? So I was saying earlier that I'm afraid of Linda Blair. We have this headshot of her from The Exorcist that we got when we met her. And every so often, I get up really early in the morning so I can feed my stupid cat. He will put it somewhere where I will see it right when the light goes on. So it'll be, right in the center of the refrigerator or right by the cat food. And I'll flip on the lights and then I will see her exorcist face staring back at me. And that's just a little lovely game that we play every so often.
That's kind of what I do. That's my job.
Oh, Rob and Slim jump at their own shadow.
I doubt that highly.
I don't know. I'd jump if I saw their shadow creeping up at me. Oh, we have a suggestion from Toyman that we should put the mayonnaise cannon shirt.
The mayonnaise cannon shirt on the skeleton?
And a pair of sunglasses.
You know what? Actually, Ron, that's a genius idea.
We are not putting the mayonnaise cannon on the skeleton.
I love this idea.
And there's also an insect on the ceiling.
Is
And I'm going to be staring at it now for the rest of the night, but that's fine.
Well, have fun with that.
Wendell couldn't fall asleep for nights after watching The Exorcist. I couldn't either, and I saw it when I was 7. It was my mother's idea of a fun Friday night.
Yeah, you had a hard time with that movie.
I did, and I don't really know what it was. I think it just struck me on some sort of deep, dark, primal sort of level. And I guess that's what I love about horror films, is that there's just this like archetype in them that you relate to on some sort of, deep level. And, you just respond to it in that weird way,
I actually do have a real fear, or had a real fear, but don't have it anymore, thankfully.
What would that be?
I had a fear of speaking in public. That was my huge fear.
Ah, yes.
Well, as you know, I was a musician, so I played in front of a lot of people live. Never had a problem performing in front of people live. But when it came to professionally then transitioning into being a speaker in front of people, being, kind of solo, not having something in front of you like a bass or an instrument to kind of protect you, and just up there talking, wow, that was a huge fear. It took me probably a good 5 years to get, that fear out of me.
But, I've felt the same way when it comes to even just being on camera and talking to people, because when I see people just on a social level, I am incredibly quiet. And people always comment on that. They're like, you just seem so outgoing on the podcast or on the show or whatever. Why aren't you saying anything now? Talk, speak, do something, monkey. And that's just not the way I am. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's fear. Maybe I'm just an asshole. I don't know.
It's part and parcel. Part and parcel.
I see that Whiskey Dick is asking me if I've seen the Poughkeepsie tapes. Yes, I have. Uh, Good movie, but it wasn't actually as good as I had hoped it would be because I had heard so many, oh, it's the, darkest movie you'll ever see kind of reviews, and I was hoping for a little bit more out of it. But I love that kind of movie. I'm the kind of person who will sit and watch the Guinea Pig series for fun, on a Saturday night. So
Yeah, you like the really dark stuff.
I like the stuff that makes you question who you are.
Right. And I've seen a lot of those movies with you. What was the one that we just saw that was the Japanese one, Train to, what is it?
Train to Busan. Yeah, the zombie movie.
That movie, for all the people out here who have not seen the Train to Busan, if you like zombie movies, and I'm not a huge fan of that genre, but wow, was that done really well.
It was done excellent, yes. I see there's a little bit of conversation on here going on about public speaking. Whiskey Dick says going on his live streams has helped him with public speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Rob and Slim were scared of public speaking in 5th grade. Bashful the Round Table is a very bashful person.
Well, hence the name.
I think when I did my book tour, I kind of overcame it a little bit because I hadn't,
You had a real problem speaking in public.
it's so much different to speak to yourself alone in a room with a microphone
With on the
and,
podcast. You mean.
versus doing it in front of an audience.
Right.
And now, even now, I see the chat going by, but it still almost feels like I'm just talking to myself in a way. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I don't go for any of that, picture them in their underwear kind of, get over it tips.
Well, I have a couple tips because I actually went to I wouldn't call it a seminar. It was actually a very expensive, thank God my company paid for it, a very expensive 3-day how to present to executives session. And matter of fact, there was the CEO from Ford Auto in there with me, Tom Ford, who was,
right.
At the time, the CEO of Ford Automotive. And wow, it was an amazing 3 days. The one thing that I can tell you that I learned is that you have one thought
per person.
One person.
Yeah.
So if you have a room full of people, what happens is when you scan the room with your eyes, that's where a lot of non-words come. The ums, the ahs, the, non-words that people typically say is because your brain is scanning the room as you're kind of walking around back and forth,
right,
trying to get your word out. If you just have one thought, one person,
you lock in on that one person.
Exactly. It's so much easier. So if there's one tip I can give to public speakers, that's it.
I have to pick a bone right now with Ginger, actually.
With Ginger.
Yeah, and Ginger, I love you. I do. But did you really just... Oh, no, it wasn't you. It was Will.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. I take it back, Ginger. I love you, Will. We have a problem. The second Human Centipede was better. Really.
I want to know why.
No, it wasn't. It was awful. As was the third one. And my, pal Eric Roberts is in the third one, but it still sucked.
Even Eric Roberts said,
Yeah, he phoned that one in. No, the first one was fun. I thought it was great. I loved the hype surrounding the Human Centipede, the whole medically accurate part of it. But the movie just could have been a little bit more. I just want these movies to push you just a little bit farther, and maybe that's why, it's an R-rated movie instead of an X or whatever the NC-17 rating is, because they have to put it in theaters. But God, I want a little more out of these things.
Was there a third one? The Whiskey Dick acid. Okay, so there
it's the one that was in the jail.
Was that the prison one?
That's the prison
and that's
one.
the one with Eric Roberts.
That's
right?
the one with Eric Roberts.
Okay,
yeah.
Yes. No. Yeah, how they made 3 of those, I have no idea.
And let's see, I see Train to Busan is getting lots of love.
Great movie.
Yeah, I love these messed up movies.
Ginger.
Yeah, Ginger. Couldn't watch it.
Yeah, it takes a special kind of... I think we just watched it because of all the hype.
Well, I saw all the hype surrounding it, and I saw what a lot of people were saying about it, and I was intrigued because, it's not often that that kind of movie gets that kind of upfront publicity. Usually it's kind of behind the scenes or after the fact. I mean, you look at a movie like the Serbian film, that only achieved cult status after the fact. I feel like Human Centipede got it even before it was released.
Yep.
Oh, hey, Redneck just joined us. Redneck, it's great to see you here.
Great to we have both Redneck and
Mrs. Redneck. We got the whole family here tonight.
Got the whole crew.
So we're talking scary movies. We're talking fears, bugs, clowns, haunted houses, knives.
Public speaking, oddly enough.
Which is so odd. How does public speaking get put on the same level as torture porn?
It's fear.
It's not.
It's fear.
It's we use the word fear way too liberally, I think. There are so many other words out there that we can use in our vocabulary. It's not just being afraid, it's being uncomfortable, it's being disturbed. We have to think of better words.
I was fearful of public speaking. I'm standing by that word.
All right. I see New Orleans Girl is here, and I swear to God, New Orleans is the greatest place in the world. Thank you for joining us.
It is the best place in the world.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Well, it's the best place in the States, I will give you that.
Right. And it is ultimately where we are going to land, once we get ourselves together and get the hell out of this dump.
Chicago's fine. But the weather's going to start sucking.
I know. I'm dreading the winter. You want to talk about being just terrified? I can't handle the cold. I can't.
Is that your fear?
So New Orleans Girl, and you don't have to say if you don't want to, but are you in the Quarter? Are you, in the Marigny? Are you in that general region? Because that's just my favorite place to be. We were just there in August, and my producer literally had to drag me back onto the plane. We were there for about a week, and
we were there for 10 days.
Yeah, I really.
It wasn't a week.
I love it.
I couldn't get you the hell out of there.
Do they have bourbon in New Orleans? Do you know what they have in New Orleans, Wendell? It's called Tales of the Cocktail, and it's this incredible event for bartenders where, they make craft cocktails, and there's discussions and education. It's incredible. You grew up in the area. Oh, I'm jealous.
Yes. And the Whiskey Dick asks, where are you now? We are based out of Chicago. And nothing wrong with Chicago. We love it. And it's a great bourbon town, by the way. We
surprisingly
love all the great bourbon, bars that are out here. There's a lot of people that enjoy that, element as we do.
Chicago has great history, which is, I think, something it has in common with New Orleans in that, the city really is ripe with stories.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of classic architecture, a lot of, just cool things to explore, and lots of great bars, but it's not New Orleans. It just isn't.
Nope. We love it there, and we will end up moving there probably in the next few years.
Yeah. We were just there for the Red Dress Run. My guy even put on talk about scary things. There are so many guys in red dresses for the Red Dress Run. It's
we showed pictures a few weeks
back.
We did,
yeah. Oh, Wendell Apollo says he's sorry for us living in Chicago.
Right. So everyone, if you want to, with the hashtag Bourbon Soak Live.
Right. Bourbon Soak Live. Take a photo of yourself right now watching Bourbon Soak Live. Post it on Twitter with the hashtag Bourbon Soak Live. Next week we will feature you, and I'd love to see you, because right now all you guys can see is me. I just see a bunch of names.
And we're gonna show the pictures again with we have Ginger and
Will
and her guy Will.
We have Wendell.
And
we have Fred.
Showing us, and by the way, I think that if I recall, that is a Maker's 46.
Maker's 46. It is. Yeah.
Over there.
Yeah.
And then we have Fred and his wife.
Is Fred drinking the Fireball? I know he's kind of our Fireball champion.
Oh, he's a total Fireball guy. Yes.
Fred, we're just talking about you.
That's right.
You know what, Fred? I think you might enjoy this Noah's Mill that I'm drinking. I know you love the Fireball. The Noah's Mill is very, very potent on the cinnamon. When you just drink it without any water, it has this really almost like red hot candy flavor, only without the sugar. So if you find it, I would definitely recommend giving it a try. I think you're going to dig it.
Yep. And Container Man says Chicago traffic sucks shit. Yes, he's right, because it is the worst here. I hate it. It's second to LA.
Well, I was going to say
Ugh.
Los Angeles is far worse.
Sure it is. Sure it is. But, I've done both, and I do not like it here.
No, not one
With the
bit.
traffic.
Wes wants to know what a good bourbon under $25 is.
Ooh.
Off the top of my
Boy.
head, I'm going to say, I think the standard Larceny bottle is 22.
It is.
Larceny is my hands down go-to. It's personally, for me, it's better than Jim Beam and Maker's Mark, although it has a very similar flavor profile. It's a wheated bourbon, so it's kind of smooth. It's really easy to drink. And since you're not spending a fortune on it, you can dump it in some, ginger beer or 7-Up or whatever and not feel bad about it. It tastes good enough to just drink neat.
Yeah, and since we have the Whiskey Dick and also the Bourbon Buddies in the chat, feel free to chime in the chat with what your favorite bourbons are under $25. I'd love to see those too.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys have some great recommendations.
Yeah.
Redneck says, sounds like someone needs to watch your last review. Actually, you know what? The Pure Kentucky that I reviewed was $28.
It was just a smidgen over
slightly
25.
over.
Yeah, but you know what? That was surprisingly Pure Kentucky. I was shocked on how much I actually liked that. I didn't think I was going to like it at all.
Well, the Pure Kentucky is from the same distillery that did my Noah's Mill that I'm drinking right now.
There you go.
Willett. They do good stuff.
Willett does good stuff. Absolutely.
Whew. Well, all right, y'all. I don't know about you, but I'm hot. And Redneck says his favorite bourbon is an open one. Well said, sir. Well said.
Absolutely.
I think that's enough out of me. Now, here's what I need from y'all, aside from your photos and hashtag Bourbon Soak Live. This month, I want to talk about Halloween stuff. I want to talk about scary stuff. So if you have any suggestions about something that you want to talk about, leave it in the comments. And we'll definitely get to it over the next couple of weeks because I want to celebrate Halloween. I love Halloween season. So if there's something, paranormal or whatever that you want to explore, let's get into it in these next couple of weeks and do it with a little bit of a bourbon-soaked twist. So anyway, y'all, I am going to say goodnight. I want to thank you all for joining me. I don't even know where to start with everybody who is here. Container Man, and again, thank you, sir, for all of the gifts and my fancy little horns here. I want to thank Ginger and Will for being here. You guys are the best. I love you. Let's see. We had Jerry who was here and Fred who was here.
Whiskey
Dick, the Bourbon Buddies, Robin Slim.
Jerry.
Wes.
Of course.
Wendell Live.
The Redneck Connection.
The
and his
Redneck
wife.
Family.
Bashful.
Creator Spotlight, Nancy Jones, Jenny, again, thank you for manning our chat and sharing all of those links.
Just everyone.
Everybody.
That came. You guys are awesome.
Let's make these Monday
and of
nights
course,
rock.
How could you forget Ron Toyman?
Oh my gosh, yes. Toyman, of course. I would never forget Ron. So next Monday night, y'all, 7 p.m., let's make this a thing. Screw TV. Let's all hang out on Monday nights at 7 p.m. and talk and drink and share stories.
You know what? I bet you if we poured bigger bourbons that this show would last longer, because I noticed that when we get to the end of our glass, we go, yeah, let's shut this board. Let's shut it down. Shut it down hard.
New Orleans girl, cheers to you. Thanks for being here. I will see y'all next Monday night at 7. Cheers, y'all.
If